On the edge of giving up. Do you know someone on the edge of giving up? Is it you? Is it your client? Here's what you do. Send them this video because I am going to break down the 5 top reasons that people want to give up. See, I've already recorded 4 other videos. This is the 5th one. And this one right here, number 5, it's a sneaky little one it's like it'll sneak up on you and just come out of nowhere. And you know what it is? I'll just tell you right now. It's boredom. The number 5 reason that your clients want to quit is boredom. Reaching peak potential is awesome when you're at the end, right? You're winning trophies, you're getting accolades, you're, I don't know, on the news. But on the way to that, it can get pretty boring. And that boredom will make your clients want to quit. It will make you want to quit. You need to feel some progress. And that's why I'm going to give you this little tip in just a minute on what you can do to make sure that your clients never get bored. But let's say they are. Let's say right now, 3 weeks into the new year, your clients are saying, I don't want to do this anymore. Here's what I want you to say to them. I'm going to give it to you right here. I dropped it in the comments, but here's what I want you to say. If you want to leave a lasting legacy that you can take pride in, you have to keep going. Got it? If you want to leave a lasting legacy that you can take pride in, you have to keep going. And if you watched yesterday's video when I talked about your why, right? Knowing your why, that's going to be that why. The lasting legacy is part of that why. And if you watched the video before that, where you found that you are the person that's holding them accountable, it is your responsibility to make sure they have a why, to make sure their why is clear to them, to make sure their why is clear to you, and to say statements like this when they want to quit. That's what accountability is, right? Accountability is not showing up at 5 a.m. for the workout, because that's your job. But your responsibility, where you add even more value, is in the times when they're not in the gym. That's when they really need you. That's when the voices start to come in, and that's when the boredom starts to set in. And like the first video I did, the loneliness, you really need to make sure you watch that one if you haven't, because this is where your clients feel like they're by themselves. And I know what you're thinking, but I'm here with them. They're not alone. Yeah, well, you need to tell them that you're not alone. And they might be, maybe it's that okay, if you watch the accountability video, remember I said that sometimes we are scared of our clients. I'm not scared of my clients, but I'm saying we, so you don't feel alone. But you know how sometimes you're scared of your clients. You don't want to tell them things. You don't want to hurt their feelings. You don't want to lose them as a client, especially if you have high profile clients like I do. You have to be sensitive about what you say, or at least they tell you do, but I don't, because I don't have time for that. We don't have time for sensitivity when you want to be a champion. You want to be a champion, then you need this truth. Yeah, and you need the facts, and I'm going to give them to you. And if you're not ready for them, then get ready. And that's why I do therapy. Because after you talk to me, you might need therapy, because I hit hard. But it's almost like I punch you with the truth, right? The truth is coming at you. I'm hitting you with the facts. And then I'm going to hug you with like some really actionable, doable things you can do. Like the statement, if you want to leave a lasting legacy, you got to keep going, right? That's a kind way to say you got work to do. And you said you wanted this. You said you wanted this. So let's do it. And when you can give them those words, especially when you have their why packaged up right nicely for them, and you can just pass it right on back to them, like, here you go, your why. Want to still quit? I didn't think so. Let's keep going. And that's what you have to do. So just let's recap real quick. Starting with number 5. Number 5, today we're talking about boredom. When your clients are bored, here's what it's going to look like. It's going to look like they're going to slow down a little bit. You're going to see a little delay, right? They're 2 minutes late. They're 3 minutes late. They're 4 minutes late. Because 1 minute late doesn't look that bad, right? Oh, that could have just been a train, or, just a little slow in getting out the bed. When you like start to get 5 minutes late, you're like, 15 minutes late, worry. But by the time it's 15 minutes late, you're so late at correcting their behavior. So that boredom is going to kick in, and you're going to see it because they'll dwindle just a little bit, but it'll be just a slight dwindle, because the boredom is going to come out of nowhere when they just like switch and like swing to the other side of the pendulum and do something crazy and hang out with the wrong people, or make some really bad decision because they're bored, or go back to some habit that they thought they kicked, but they haven't, because they're mentally they're not strong enough. And this is why your clients need therapy, because they got the physical strength down, but that boredom is mental. That's not physical. No matter how much they lift, no matter how long they stay in the gym, when they leave out of that gym, they don't take you with them. So they need a strong mentality to go along with their physicality. Don't leave them out there, because that boredom will kick in and somebody will call and they'll go run into that person. And this is when the news story happens. So peak performance is, let's say this, peak performance is when you give 100%, 100% of the time. Now, I know, that 100% varies. What you have, if you have the flu, remember the time Jordan played? I'm from Chicago, so I use a lot of Jordan analogies. So remember the time Jordan played with like the flu, and he still got like, I don't know, 70 points or some ridiculous amount, right? Because he knew he had to bring it even more, because his 100% was lower than it normally was. But because his 100% was lower than it normally was, he still had to give 100% of whatever that was. But it took everything inside of him in order to do that. And that is what peak performance is. When you don't let the physicality take over the mentality. The mentality is the winner, the champion. The champion has a mind that is beyond. I'm not talking about mindset. You hear, I use the word mentality, which is different. I'll tell you about that in another video. And I have made videos about that, but I'll make another one. So you need to get really clear on what that is, what 100% is for you and your clients. And then let's talk about what peak performance isn't. Peak performance isn't doing what society says or just doing enough, right? Doing enough to be, some athletes that like if their opponent makes 30 points, then they make 35, just enough to beat them. And then there are those teams that are like, nope, we're going to have 70 million points and they're going to have 2, because that's just what we do. We give 100%, 100% of the time, no matter how average or mediocre you are. Meet me in the finals, they say. Meet me in the finals. You ain't ready. So that's what peak performance isn't. It isn't playing just good enough. It's playing full out at 100%. All right, let's wrap this video up real quick, because I said I was going to recap, but I need to go deeper on this one, number 5 here, boredom. It's holistic approach, right? Peak performance is a holistic approach. It's sleep, it's nutrition, it's stress management, it's physical activity. You got the physical activity. That's your job. You're doing a great job at that. Their physicality is superb. Stress management, that's my job. How are they doing on that? Probably not that great. We need to talk. Maybe you need to be in the trusted advisor community or mastermind, so I can show you how to get your client's mentality a little better, or you just need to refer them to me. But let's talk about nutrition. You probably got that down too. You're probably on top of that. You're tracking the macros, and you're making sure their nutrition is good, because a lot of people do the outward things really well, but it's the internal things that lose them. And that's why I say the boredom can sneak up on you, because they can work at 100% for a very, 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 very long time. But if they don't have some kind of spark, some kind of progress. And that's what a cheat meal is, right? And a lot of times, if you're in season, like I have a person in my trusted advisor community, and when they're in season, when they are in competition, they don't have a cheat meal. They don't play. They are serious 100% of the time. However, maybe you want to have a cheat snack, not necessarily a whole meal, but just like maybe instead of having 14 grams of sugar, you go as high as 20, just a little something extra. And that's what I'm saying. Just give them a little bit. Just give them a little bit so they can keep going. Don't be so strict. Don't be so far to the other side. I know I said 100% of the time, but part of that 100% has to add in just a little icing, just a little, just a teeny tiny. And I said icing, and you probably cringed, but a sparkle, like a little spark, a candle, but light the candle. Don't just put a candle on there and don't light it. Light the candle and make it one of those little festive candles that sparkle a little bit. Like do something that sparks enthusiasm. Yes, winning should do that, but sometimes the win is too far away. Or sometimes the win is normal. It becomes normal. It's like, of course I'm going to win, but I need something more. All right. I think you get the point, right? All right. Let's start this video up because let me see if I said everything. I got to look at my notes. Yes. Okay. One last thing I want to say to you, and then I'm going to recap, and then we're going to go. So you can get back to doing what you do, and I can get back to doing what I do. I said that there are those areas. The last one was sleep. And that's another one that I work on. What is keeping you up at night? You, the trusted advisor, you have some things keeping you up at night. But there's only one reason why you can't sleep. There's only one reason why your clients can't sleep. And it is because you don't feel safe. Your clients don't feel safe. I know I'm going to have to break that down in another video, and I will. But let's just say, no matter, it's all the different things keeping you up at night, whatever's on your mind, what it really boils down is that you don't feel safe. And the work that I do, the self-sync therapy, helps you feel safe. And that's why you need therapy, because you don't feel safe. Now, I'm not saying you need therapy, but that's what you're going to say to your clients. Your brain doesn't feel safe. And in order for you to feel safe, if you're not sleeping, we've got to get you some therapy. Now, you yourself might not be sleeping. And so I'm saying that to you because I'm your trusted advisor. And if you get in the mastermind, I can really be your trusted advisor. We can meet weekly. Yeah, I mean, yes, we meet weekly and sometimes even daily here on YouTube, but I can't pour into you the way I want to. Oh my goodness, we only have one more minute left because I gotta go. I know, and you do too. So you can get back to it because you're so awesome. And no, really, you are. No, so seriously. So the last thing I want to mention to you is this: peak performance is personalized. What Michael Jordan did, what Kobe Bryant did, what Serena Williams does, what Novak Djokovic does, like, what Nadal does. Like nobody can figure out what this thing is. It's a lot. But that brings him to peak performance, and you don't want to mess with that. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. You've got to have your own thing that gets you to peak performance. Each one of your clients has their own thing. So don't come with that cookie cutter stuff. And physicality is a big part of it, that personal way of getting to your peak performance. You do need to have all those physical things in place. And sometimes each person has a certain physicality about them that they need to really focus on. They really need to focus on that physicality, but the mentality is going to take it to a whole nother level. So that's all I have to say about that. What you're going to do is you're going to give your clients this link so that they can have a free self-sync therapy session. The link is in the description of this video if you're watching this as a recording. I need you to know that you and I, we have so much to do together. Together, you and I can blend the physicality and the mentality so that your clients can be at peak potential, peak performance, and reach their full financial potential. All right, let's keep going. I'll see you next week because this one is my most favorite. Number 6. Oh, you're going to love it. I promise.